I stumbled upon something. I'm going to roll that in pretty soon. But the reason why we will not get tired of bringing informations like this to you is because these people do not get tired of saying whatever they want to say. And if we do not correct some of these impressions, there might be people who might take this and work with it. That is the reason why we are trying our best to see that whenever we see, we react towards it. Whenever we see, we react towards it, and then cut out that negative energy that is within us as Black people, that is not making us succeed. That is the plain truth. The more divided we are, the more separated we will be, the more we will never be united and achieve anything. The more we will never succeed as a melanated community around the world. I want you to listen to this and then we'll take it up from there, Your Majesties.
The biggest news on TikTok right now is not Donald Trump. It's not what's going on in China. It's that Black people or African Americans have figured out their true identity, their true heritage. And the fact of the matter is, we are not from Africa. Even though they have a vast wealth of great ancient history, that is not our history to claim. Welcome to the cookout. First thing first, understand that Black people in America are a people with a lost culture and history. Now, when you're thinking about the ancient Americans, the civilizations such as the Maya and the Olmec, these are civilizations with a lost people. You do the math. Now, a topic like this would be a huge speculation circulating throughout the TikTok community, but there is no speculation when I've already done the work to prove that I am indeed indigenous American. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ya Eric Shi Ya Sun. I am of the Shi Amaru indigenous Americans. Throughout the course of history, we've been known as the Olmecs, the Mayas, the Yamasee, the Aztec, the Inca, the Carib, the Arawak, Seminole, names that have been heard throughout history on a multitude of times. But a lot of people don't know where these names come from. You see, when we're talking about the history of the Americas, it's important to understand the American lands were attacked in 1492, and the people that were here were people that looked just like me. Now, the people who did this attack were the Spaniards. Now, we have to break down, because 500 years is a long time, guys. So now we have to break down in modern day who the descendants of these Spanish conquistadors are, so we can actually figure out who's indigenous to this land and who's not, okay? Now, when we're looking at the descendants of the Spanish conquistadors, we're looking at people like the Puerto Ricans, we're looking at people like the Mexicans, the indigenous Americans. All these people have European ties, okay? And when I say indigenous Americans, I mean the Native Americans, the ones who have more Asiatic features, right? And you notice that these people, along with the Mexicans and the Europeans or Spaniards, all have huge resemblances, right? It's because they are the Pretendians. They are the ones who captured this land and took it away from my people, okay? Now, let's just go and really dissect how these people did this, right? You have to understand that these people move in domination. They take over, they relocate, they mimic, and they claim, okay? So after they dominate a land, they relocate the people, they mimic their culture, and then claim the culture. That is why you see all these different non-melanated shades of people claiming to be Native American, claiming to be American, claiming to be Central American, South American. And the fact of the matter is they're not. Period. Now, I could go on and on and on and on with proof receipts and documents to prove everything that I'm saying is true. But to save time, I'm just going to give you a list of references of people that you can actually go research yourself and find the same information that I have, okay? Let's start off with Richard Neves, Walter Neves. These are the men responsible for recreating Lucia, right? The Brazilian woman, the oldest skeleton ever found in America. And they are the reason why we now know Lucia was a melanated woman, okay? Let's talk about the great Joel Augusta Rivers. If I got that wrong, I apologize. Who is responsible for breaking the chains of bondage on our people's mental, right? He was responsible, or one of those responsible, for bringing awareness to the Olmec sculptures, the Olmec heads, the Olmec artifacts, right? And they resembled us, quote unquote, African Americans. Simply put. Another name is Dr. Cyrus Gordon. Dr. Cyrus Gordon was an anthropologist. I mean, he made superb, what's the word I'm trying to look for? Superb contributions to the fields of anthropology and human migration. And when he studied the artifacts or the skulls or skeletons of the earliest Americans that he could find, he said that out of the hundreds and thousands of artifacts and remains that were here, very few of them actually resembled the modern day Native Americans. But more importantly, most of them resembled the people you call colored today. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. It's a beautiful one. Y'all have a fantastic day. I'm out.
We're in a severe literacy and comprehension crisis in this country. The Pretendians come online spreading misinformation do not help us at all in the eyes of the world with proving that our education system isn't as bad as they think it is.
There's more pyramids in the Americas than the rest of the world combined. The Native Americans did not build these pyramids. Same way we know that the Europeans didn't build the pyramids in Africa.
But a soul on earth has ever said that the pyramids in Egypt and Sudan were built by Europeans. Europeans, conversely, discovered those things and have been fascinated that Africans could be more advanced than them ever since. So your argument falls flat when you start out with a complete fallacy. And thousands of pyramids around the world, with the highest concentration of pyramids being in Sudan, which come from the Kush kingdom, with over 225 known pyramid structures, almost double than that of Egypt, which has over roughly 118 pyramids. Several pyramids can also be found in China, in Southeast Asia, and in many places in the world. But there's over 100 pyramids in Mexico, El Salvador, and Belize. And those pyramids were built by the Maya people.
Dear Black Americans, you are the children of the Mayas, the Olmec, the Incas. You are the ancient civilizations that ruled the Americas. You see, when you dive into these temples and you look at the paintings on the walls, ladies and gentlemen, you clearly see who the ancient Mayans were. Even more proof, Maya mural at Bonham Park, ladies and gentlemen. Melanated people. I mean, it's so simple. The deeper you dive, the more of our ancestors you see.
Black Americans are not the descendants of the Olmecs or the Mayans. Now, for this theory to even hold true, you would have to know historically the tribes that inhabited North America. I have been to Quintana Roo in Mexico, where Mayans are. I have seen what Mayans look like in 2025. They are still alive today. They look exactly like the drawings you're showing in these paintings. You know why? Because the Mayans and those who are the original inhabitants of Central and South America are brown because they live on the equator. Another common thing I always hear is that Native Americans aren't native to America. They're from Asia because they came over the landmass. Duh. All the humans on Earth migrated out of Africa at different points throughout the history of Earth. They migrated out of Africa into Europe, into Asia, across the Bering Strait, into North America, into South America, into Australia. That is how the human migration we know historically, scientifically, has occurred on Earth. Another thing, if you're going to talk about Earth and humans and development of humans, you need to know the various stages of evolution of Earth. Someone said to me the other day, well, I think that Black people could have been in America before because we were all one landmass at one point. Millions of years ago, before dinosaurs even existed. Yeah, but that's not our story in terms of evolution on Earth.
Now, Africans, if we know you guys built these, allegedly, which now I'm starting to think y'all didn't, we know y'all built these because white people can't stay in the sun. Europeans can't stay in the sun. So if Europeans can't stay in the sun to build the mounds or the pyramids, neither could the Native Americans, bro. The LSU campus mounds in Louisiana are among the oldest in the world. And we know when we think of Louisiana, we think of our people. Welcome to the cookout.
To try to drive your point home by saying Africans, you quote unquote, built the pyramids in Egypt because we know white people didn't build them because they can't stay in the sun, and then go back to the mounds in America that were built by the early Mississippian tribes of indigenous people. You literally confuse yourself, because your first argument was that the Europeans built the pyramids, but now Europeans can't build the pyramids. And if you want to use pseudoscience at a simplistic level, Once humans migrated across the world, those that settled along the equator have always been darker because of the sun. Melanin production is a mutation that we developed for the sun. Same thing with a wide nose and curly hair to cool ourselves off versus a thin nose and straight hair to keep ourselves warm in Europe, in Siberia, and all these places. It actually hurts my brain sometimes to see some of these arguments come out of America, especially by black people, especially when you look just like somebody's Congolese nephew or someone from Tanzania. Like, we're not Native American. We're not indigenous to America. Like, I don't know why that is your coping mechanism to deal with slavery or our history of oppression in this country, is to say we are Native. You don't speak any native languages. You don't have any attributes to your culture that is native, right? Our culture is our culture globally as black people. And in the Americas, all of the descendants of the formerly enslaved people, our culture, our food, our language, our music, all stems from Africa. Mixing with European and some native people, because there are those of us that have native ancestry. I'm not ever denying that. But the whole, we were already here, we're native, we're Mayan. Mayans are thousands of miles away. Get your facts straight before you come online making all the rest of us look crazy. Because all of us are not this uneducated on the evolution of humans and the development of humans on Earth. What a Monday. What a way to start a Monday.
Let me clear this up. I've been watching some TikTok videos about black Americans going around claiming that they're the real Native Americans, and that the real Native Americans are fake and that they stole our culture. Now you guys, y'all know damn well that is not true. Yes, some of us have Native ancestry. Yes, some Native Americans did enslave Africans. And yes, we all know that history is messy as hell. But we know for sure that this is not true. There's no proof. There's no language. There's no documents. There's no DNA that proves that we were here first. You guys are actually going around erasing Native American culture. Why? To feel rooted in your own? Going around erasing someone else's identity to feel good about our own is not cool. That kind of happened to us. Black people, you guys are beautiful. We are mixed people. We are African. We're European. Some of us have native blood. We are a beautiful mix. There's no need for us to go around trying to erase someone else's identity just to feel good about our own. Know that you are loved, whether you're dark skinned, you're light skinned, whatever you may be. We've been through hella shit. We have. But don't go around here treating other people the same way we got treated. You're loved. Accept that. Be proud of who you are.
At this point, I don't care what the Pretendians think they are. They could tell me they were a dog or an alien from space, and I'm going to just say, okay. What I hate the most is that the Pretendians are so loud and wrong online, and it makes people think all black Americans are dumb or we lack logic.
So you mean to tell me Europeans go to Europe, Germans go to Germany, Caucasians go to the Caucasus Mountains, every nationality ties to a landmass?
Germany is a country within Europe, and the Caucasus Mountains are a region that people who are Caucasian stem from, not a country. But continue.
Jamaicans go to Jamaica, Hondurans go to Honduras. Africans don't even say they're African. They say Kenyan, Nigerian, Zimbabwean, wherever they from, you feel me?
Jamaica, Honduras, and Puerto Rico are made up countries in the Americas, just like the United States of America. Do you know who are the people that exist within Puerto Rico, Jamaica, and Honduras? The native Taino Indians, Arawak Indians, Carib Indians, Africans who are descendants of formerly enslaved Africans, and Europeans. The same exact makeup of people who are in America. And we are called Black American because we are American.
Now that we've eliminated pretty much everybody, who is from America? I need to know who is from America. Now they got this one nationality that got their name changed like 4 or 5 times, from Negro, colored, African American, black, and nobody stopped to question why none of these names tied to a landmass. Can someone please point out on the map, where is Negro kin? Where is colored kin? Where is Africa America? Where is black kin? and we just keep letting this happen. Who are the true Americans?
So, in the same vein that you're trying to prove a conspiracy theory that we are Native American, you are ignoring the fact that the Native Americans, the indigenous people of the Americas, exist and are still alive today. And furthermore, the descendants of those formerly enslaved people, us, are factually American because we were forcibly brought here and we are the foundation of this nation. You can give Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, and Honduras and think that their people are from there, but they exist the same way we do. Do you see how the logic is fucking crazy to me? But he keeps going.
All the people that look like me, we got our names changed like 50,000 times, and nobody ever said. Nobody keep giving us names that don't even talk to a landmass. Who are the true Americans? Do not say the Indians. Indians go to India. If the Indians was here, India would want something to do with that because India is tied to India. You feel me? So if the Indians was here first, this place would have been called India. So they probably changed the name of this place too, if you see the patterns that's going on. So who's from America?
The premise of your video is just so flawed. Black is not a nationality, okay? Black is our ethnic group, and it's a race. We are American. America is a made-up country in the continent of North America, which I'm sure the natives and indigenous people never called America. The name America comes from the explorers that came from Europe, and then they named the continents after him. I was having a discussion with my friends yesterday about how dumb people can be and like how comprehension and literacy are really off and how people take ideas and they don't really understand what they're saying or digesting. And it's hard for me to fathom that someone could be this dumb and this loud and so sure of himself while contradicting himself within the same breath or just like not knowing what he's talking about. And there are thousands of comments of people agreeing with him. There's no Blackistan or Colorstan. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are we being for real right now, guys? Pretendians really do me in. They really do me in, bro. Delineation movements, the Pretendian, the FBA, and ADOS movements are growing rapidly online, and it's because people are fucking dumb. You don't know the history of how all these countries were created, so you're saying that the people from Jamaica, Puerto Rico, and Honduras, I don't know why those three particular ones, even though there's more, that they are really Jamaican. Like, what makes a Jamaican Jamaican to you? What makes a Honduran Honduran to you that wouldn't make a Black American a Black American to you? Do you know why Black is a thing here? Because we're one of the few countries where we're a minority, the true minority. The countries in the Caribbean are majority Black places. The United States of America and Brazil have the most descendants of slaves. And in both countries, there are names for Black people in both countries. Just because you're not aware of it doesn't make us any less American more than it makes them any less Brazilian. Oh man, it's happy Sunday.
My relatives are convinced that we have Native Americans in the family.
I have a little Choctaw Indian.
We talk about the cheekbones and...
Yeah, you do have high cheekbones.
She always had long black hair.
Tina grew up believing that two of her grandparents were part Native American.
But you're only 1% Native American. You know how your family has always thought that you had all this Native American heritage?
Yes.
It was white heritage that you had.
All this time I've been thinking Indian. I was dying to find out what tribe it was.
You're from the tribe of Europe.
And I'm 3% Native American. So I got just a little Indian.
You got a little Indian in you. 0% Native American. And 0% Native American. And 0% were Native American.
We're gonna have to tell the Choctaw Nation in Oklahoma. I misrepresented myself. I'm not Choctaw at all, you know.
And you'll see there's no figure for Native American because you ain't got no Native American.
Set the record straight.
Even Don Cheadle, who we would expect to have some Native American ancestry because of the connection to the Chickasaw, members of your family owned by Native Americans. But we don't find it. Wow. And you're not alone in not having any measurable Native American ancestry. 1 in about every 20 African Americans only 1 in 20 has any significant amount of Native American ancestry.
Now, according to this test, Linda Johnson Rice, you have an extraordinary amount of European ancestry for an African American.
20% European.
You're 1/5 white.
Wow. Oh, man.
Can you read these percentages?
32.2 European.
You are 1/3 white.
I am not.
35% European.
19% European.
Are you surprised to know that you have that much European ancestry?
I guess so. As dark complected as I am.
It means you're a third white.
Well, that's surprising.
You are 33% European.
Now, this is the 1870 census time. And what we find is that your great-great-grandmother is living with her daughter, Janet, and her son, Robert, in the household. But can you see who is living next door?
Edward Hall?
Edward Hall.
I'm not finished. Amazing as this was, turn the page, my brother. That is Ed Hall's father, your third great-grandfather.
A Supreme Court justice in the state of North Carolina.
Supreme Court justice in the state of... That's right. That's your ancestry. Direct smoking pistol.
I looked around my family. I haven't seen anybody in my family that have gray eyes.
So your great-grandfather was a white man. Did you know this?
Yeah, my mother said so.
How are white ancestors part of African-American history, do you think?
How?
Sure. Or are they?
Gosh, yeah, of course they're a part of African-American history and more prevalent in the South than anywhere else in the country.
Her Majesties, we've heard everything, and I'm not going to talk much because I've been saying a whole lot about this issue. The truth is that no one is forcing anybody to be African. If you want to be African, fine. If you do not want to be African, fine. You can decide to be whatever you want to be. We are all allowed to have our own opinion. We are all allowed to do whatever we want to do because the life is ours, right? But we should also be aware that the enemy have a lot of ways to cause confusion in our midst as a melanated people, and that we should watch out for. I'm going to see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always your majesties. Bye for now.